Hi, welcome back to Knitting by the Bay. If you're new here, my name is Christy, and this is a podcast all about making, but mostly knitting. It has been quite a while since I've sat down to talk with you guys. I planned to take about 2 weeks off, and I ended up taking about a month off, which is okay, so I have a lot of things to share with you guys. All right, so I wanted to start off talking a little bit about the Christmas holiday. So we ended up having people over to our house for dinner 2 times. We had my mom and my sister and her family and my stepdad over for Christmas dinner. And then we had my in-laws over on Boxing Day for dinner as well. So that was a lot of fun. I ended up not getting a lot of knitting done really over the Christmas holidays. I did a lot. We played a lot of games with my son. We really got into playing the game Catan, which he got for Christmas from his grandma. So we got into playing that a lot. He wins every single time. I don't know how he does it. I won one time and now he just wins every single time. He's really, really good at games for some reason. He's very he's very smart and he thinks multiple steps ahead a lot of the time. So he's able to like plan these moves out. And yeah, I just can't. I don't work that way. My brain doesn't work that way, but his does. And so he ends up winning most of the games that we play together. So it's a little frustrating sometimes for me, who is very competitive. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. We also did like a lot of puzzles, which I don't do puzzles very often. I like the idea of a puzzle, but if it comes down to either knitting or doing a puzzle, I'd much rather knit. I feel like at the end of knitting, you have something to wear. At the end of puzzle, like doing a puzzle, you just like pull it all apart and like put it back away again. You have nothing really to show for it. But I know that it's a very relaxing hobby. And so, yeah, I've been getting into doing a lot of puzzles lately, and that's kind of taken up some of my knitting time. Um, I didn't do a lot of gift knitting this year. I only made socks for my husband and I made him 2 pairs. So I guess I'll show those to you guys first. Or maybe actually we'll get into some other things and then I'll share with you my finished objects. But yeah, so I didn't do a lot of gift knitting, just those socks for my husband. I also made a pair of mittens, which I share with you guys before the holidays, that were for my sister. And yeah, I was gifting them to her for her birthday, but she ended up not being able to come visit for her birthday because of like we had a ton of snow. And so I didn't end up seeing her until Christmas. So I gifted her those mittens. They were the Space Between mittens by Sconza. And I thought they were so cute. And she really liked them. And so I gifted those to her as her birthday present. And I ended up also giving her the bag that I made that I got the kit from Babylon Leather. And I loved that bag. I did the Cambridge bag and I really loved how it turned out. But I thought that my sister would probably like that style of bag as well. So what I did was I like wrapped up the mittens and put them inside the bag and then gifted her the bag. And when I gifted it to her, like my whole family was around and they could not believe that I actually made that bag. Like with the kit, you don't cut out the leather. Everything comes pre-cut out with all of the holes punched in it. So it makes it really easy to put together a bag, but it looks so professional. It's amazing. So I gifted that bag to her, and then I was like, I really, really want to make another bag for myself. I had so much fun sewing with the wax thread and the pre-punched leather, and it was just such a fun experience putting that bag together. I didn't know what I was going to get when I got the kit because they reached out to me originally to ask if I wanted to try out one of the kits. And I didn't know. I had seen some people make them on their podcast before and they looked really good. But I didn't know what the experience of making one would be like until I got the kit. And it was so much fun. And so I reached out to them and I said, this is what happened. I gifted my sister that bag. I'd really like to try out a second bag, if you're willing to like collaborate together again. And the person that I speak to at Babylon Leather is so friendly and so nice, so helpful. And she got back to me and was like, I was going to reach out to you and see if you wanted to do another one. So that's really good timing. And so I got to pick a second bag. I just got the kit yesterday in the mail. And so I thought it would be fun to like unbox the kit. And I just took a quick little peek at it. But I wanted to unbox it with you guys and see what it's all about. So this is the box that it came in. And I asked for the one, it's called Genuine Leather Saddle Shoulder Bag. And so I'll link that down below if you guys are interested in checking out what it looks like. I'll also put a picture up of the finished bag here so you can see. And I just love this green color. I love the little, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a hook. I'll have to look when we look at the box, but I really like how it closes, and I thought it was really a pretty bag. I like the little small bags. I really like the Cambridge bag, the size of it, and it's like a rectangle shape. This one is a round shape, and I really wanted something a little bit different. So I'll show you guys. As all the stuff came out. Yeah, the business cards and everything are in here. A little brochure in here with some information about what you're getting. So the leather kit is 100% hand sewn, full grain leather, quality hardware, step-by-step tutorial video, and all-inclusive materials and tools. And so from the first kit that I got, you got everything in the kit to put together the bag. So I'm expecting the same sort of thing here. So yeah, you get this little scarf that you can tie on your bag if you like. That's cute. That's not really my style, but I think it's really cute for people that like to like personalize their handbags. And then it also comes with this cute little a horse like thing that you can attach as well to your bag if you like, if you want to put both of those together. Yeah, this is sort of like a equestrian themed scarf, I think. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, it's really cute. It goes really nicely with that horse. And then the rest of the things. So here is the strap for the bag. And then you get your bag full of tools. So you get a little, like a puncher. I guess this is if one of the holes is not completely punched through. Maybe you can use that to punch through. You get some little snips to cut the wax thread. You get your wax thread here. And this looks like not a lot of thread to make the whole bag, but it is like definitely enough. I had lots left when I made the first bag. So yeah, that's awesome. That thread being wax is so easy to work with. And then there's all the little, well, they're not little, they're longer needles to sew with. And you get I think it's 6 needles there as well. And this is the hardware that I'm very excited about. So it's wrapped up. So sorry about the crinkling. Okay, so this is like, it's got some protective tape on it, but this is the little, I wonder if I can take that off easy. This is the clasp for the bag. I'll have to play around with that after, but this should be, oh, these are the other hardware, like the buckles for the strap. All right, so now here are the leather pieces for it. So we've got these sort of U-shaped pieces, some of these pieces, like all cut, all the holes punched in and ready to go. This is probably like the gusset of the bag. And yeah, the other front pieces of the bag. I love this color. It's like a very deep green. I don't know if it's going to show up really well, but like a beautiful deep green. Green is my favorite color, so I wanted to try this one out. So I think it's going to look really cute with this buckle on it, and I'm so excited to get started on it. So yeah, I just wanted to share what you get in the kit when you order, if you were to order it. And so if you guys wanted to check it out, they have given me a discount code for you guys, which is Christy10. This discount code lasts forever, so you can purchase a bag whenever using that code, and you can stack it on to any other sale that they might be having at the time. I'm not sure if they've got anything going on right now, but they do have a lot of sales. I've seen a lot of different sales come up. So you can stack on the extra 10% and get an even better discount. So yeah, I will link this down below if you're interested in trying out one of these bags. They're super fun. All right, so let's get back to the knitting. Okay, so let's begin with the finished objects. Like I said, I didn't do a ton of knitting over the holidays, so I didn't get a lot of stuff finished. All I have are the socks that I made for my husband. He has worn them a couple times, but I think they still look in good shape. So this is the Comfort Core sock pattern by Summer Lee, and I knit mine using Slang Jawal, and I think it's called Disco, these yarns. And this one is called Staying Alive, I think. Anyways, everything will be linked down below. There'll be a link to my Ravelry. So if you're interested in this sock yarn, you can check it out there. But yeah, so this is the Comfort Core socks by Summer Lee. These ones have been blocked. And I made little shorty ones because that's what he likes. And he really likes this pattern. I find this pattern a little bit more, there's more to it because you're doing a lot of texture. Like after you finish the cuff, you do a little bit of like however long you want the leg to be. And then you're going to do this like moss stitch on the top of the sock, and the bottom is stockinette. And then you come down here, and this is the Comfort Core part of the sock. So this is made using slip stitches, and it sort of hugs around your foot. And I'll show you, I made a second pair for him, and these ones he's worn, and then he washed them in the washing machine, and so they're not blocked, but you can see what the Comfort Core does in the sock there. It like shrinks up and hugs the arch of your foot, which I really like. And she was trying to make something that looked like a sports sock, and I think that it totally looks like that. So this yarn is the Patton's Croy in the color wood, can't remember, something starting with wood. Anyway, I will link that below as well. And I really like this Patton's Croy sock yarn. I think it's very like, it holds up really, really well. You can throw it in the washing machine. I have a couple of pairs that I made for myself using that yarn, and I really like it. There's like no pilling on it. They don't like, they're very, very strong. And I think that like, even though it's a fingering weight yarn, it's like a thicker, I don't want to say rustic, but just a thicker yarn. And I really like that. It gives really good stitch definition. And yeah. So those are the two pairs that I made for him, and I was working away on these ones like every day when he would be at work, and at night if he'd go to bed earlier than me, then I would take them out and work on them, and I got them done like a few days before Christmas, so that worked out really well. So that's the only finished project that I have to share with you. I had a ton of plans to do some Christmas crafting projects. I was going to make a pair of pajamas, like Christmas pajamas. I was going to make a little ornament for the tree. Also, I was working on a Christmas cross stitch pattern, and I didn't make the pajamas. I haven't even cut out the fabric yet. I've washed the fabric, and that is it. But I haven't cut out the fabric yet. The ornament, I didn't even touch any of that. Didn't start on that at all. And my cross stitch, I did just a very little bit of that. And so, yeah, I don't have any of those. Like, all of those plans did not happen. That's totally fine. What I really like is planning things. Like, it doesn't have to happen. I just really like planning what I'm going to do, whether I do it or not. That's the exciting part for me. So yeah, I can still make those at any time. And the cross stitch, I really enjoy cross stitching. But I wanted to get those socks done and, do a little bit of knitting. But I really, really enjoy cross stitch. And just because it's a Christmas themed cross stitch doesn't mean that I can't like work on it during the summer if I wanted to. Like, I think that one is a very big one. There's a lot of different stitches in it. There's beads and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's going to take me a while to make. It's not something that I plan to have finished for Christmas anyway. So I can work on it all through the year and maybe have it done for next Christmas, hopefully. Okay, and so now let's move into my works in progress. So I'm going to talk about the one behind me first. And you know what? Now I'm remembering that I did not tell you guys what sweater I'm wearing. So let me tell you, this is the Forager. It's a sweater by Isabel Kramer, and it is a really nice sport weight sweater. So I used Durham Natura Ulysse in the color Tempête, and it is like dusty sort of navy blue. And it's going to be very difficult for you to see all the details on this sweater, but it's really cute. It has this cable. It's not a real cable, it's just a little mock cable that runs down the front, and it also runs down the side of the sleeves. And that was a lot of fun to do because you didn't need a cable needle or anything like that. It's just very basic, easy to do. And then another detail is it has a Latvian braid right here before you begin on the ribbing for the cuffs. And I really liked that detail too. It has a Latvian braid at the hem before you start the ribbing for the hem. But I did it, and then when I knit this sweater, I ended up making it too long. And so I had to go back, and I couldn't undo. I find that the Durham Natura is very like sticky yarn, and it was very hard for me to undo the ribbing and that Latvian braid. So I just ended up cutting off after the Latvian braid, cutting it off and just doing like undoing it after that part, and then just doing a regular basic ribbed hem because I felt like that Latvian braid gave it a little bit too much bulk because I still like to French tuck my sweaters. And with that Latvian braid, I didn't really like that little bit of extra bulk there. So I didn't do the Latvian braid. I just went right into the ribbing, and I really like how it turned out. So I really like this yarn. I use it quite a lot. If you've watched my podcast before, I've made many things using the Durham Natura Ulysse. And yeah, I really like it. I find it very, very soft. And, but I find that this one in the navy blue is a little bit more rough than, like, not as soft as the lighter colored items that I've made. And I've heard that before, that sometimes the dyeing process of darker yarns can make them a little bit more rough. So I do find that, but I'm wearing this right now without a shirt underneath, and I think it's totally fine. It's just not as soft as the lighter colors that I've used before. And so, yeah, I don't wear it too often. I also, um, yeah, I always think of this as being like a crew neck, but it's not really a crew neck. It's more like, it's not quite a boat neck, but it is quite open in the neck, which I do like. But I always think that it's a crew neck, and I've decided I don't really like crew necks on me. So whenever I think about wearing this one, I'm like, oh, I don't like the crew neck, but it's not, and it's actually open. So I will try and wear this one a little bit more often because I do really like it. I like this color and the softness of the yarn. So now let's move into works in progress. So we'll talk about the one hanging up behind me. This is my Robinson wrap by Florence Miller, and this is what I have so far. So pretty much done. I used Knitting for Olive merino and their mohair in the color soft blue. And I'm really happy with this color. Sometimes their colors on their website don't totally match in real life, but this one I really like how it looks. It kind of looks a little bit more saturated on my camera, but it's a very dusty but deeper blue, and yeah, I like it a lot. And so this is a wrap sweater, and it's a very good pattern. It's going to like cross over here. There's a hole on one side, which I made. Oops. Um, you make it with like a yarn over. And then I continued knitting and I could not find it. Later when I went back, I was trying to look for where it was and I could not find where it was. And I think that I found it here. But I'm not totally sure. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be like there's a little tiny hole there. I think it'll be okay to because it's going to tie with an I-cord, so it's not going to be a thick tie running through it. So I think it'll be fine, but I when I found this spot, I just marked it with a stitch marker. So that could be a tip if you're knitting this to put the stitch marker in when you make that hole, just so you know exactly where it is. But yeah, so I'm super happy. It's a raglan sleeve sweater. And the instructions for it are very simple and very good and very easy to follow. This is like a beginner sweater for sure. There's not, there's not a lot to it. Only it's going to have a double knit band around it, so that could be a little bit tricky if you haven't done that before, but there's always a first time for doing something, so I totally would recommend this pattern. One little thing that I thought could have been a little bit better was she didn't give, I'm not sure if it was throughout the pattern, but at a certain point when you're doing all of these increases and stuff here to shape this wrap, she didn't give you a total number of stitches that you should have by that point. Or it was at a certain point where she didn't give the total number of stitches. And in the past, I never would have cared about that because I never counted my stitches at that point. I would just be like, it looks fine, it's going to be fine, and not worry about it. But I really wanted to make sure that I had the right number of stitches, and that wasn't there. So I just went back and I counted how many increases I was doing and added it to where I started and got the number that way. So it's not like you would be totally lost. You can just do that. But it is very handy if they just tell you, and then you could do it right then. And so yeah, that's the only thing. Other than that, I think it's like such a great pattern, very easy to do and understand. And I really like the sleeves are nice and fitted. I like a fitted sleeve. Like I really like the sleeve on this sweater. I don't love a big baggy sleeve. I prefer more of a fitted sleeve. And so yeah, I really like that. It's a sweater that has negative ease or just zero ease. I can't remember. But it is quite tight on me. But it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to wrap around tightly on you. And yeah, so I'm really happy. I ended up knitting it much longer than what she suggests because I have like a longer torso. And so for me, like if I stopped, it would have been like just under my bust. And yeah, that's not going to work. So I knit it a lot longer than she said. I also don't like it is supposed to be like not necessarily cropped, but like shorter. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to cover like the top of my pants. And so, yeah, I did that. And so I'm really excited about that. I have been putting off picking up for the double knit band that goes around it because everybody's like we've been busy here. My son's been off of school, my husband's been off of work for his holiday, and so I really wanted to give my full focus to it, and so I just like haven't worked on it yet. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to pick up for that band and get that part done. I really actually like double knitting. I like the process of it. I don't like how long it takes to do, but I do like doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's going to be my next thing to work on. Okay, whip number 2 is my Corvid sweater. So this is a pattern by Jared Flood. It is a very long, he calls it a coat. It's like, almost down to my feet, almost. And it has like a shawl collar on it that's very unique because it's got this different kind of ribbing on it called cartridge ribbing. And so, yeah, it gives this really cool texture to the ribbing. And so it has this like really big shawl collar, and the shawl collar at the top comes down to like about your waist, and then you start another section of it, so it kind of like cuts off there, so that moves on its own, and then you do another piece at the bottom of the sweater as well. So I'll put a picture up here so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But I thought it was a really unique pattern. And so I am knitting mine using Cascades 220 in the color River Rock Heather. And I'm holding that together with Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the color Pearl, which is like a light gray color. And so I'll show you what I have, and it's going to be very hard to see because it's so super long. So this is the back piece. This sweater is worked in pieces from the bottom up, and then you seam it together. And so this is the back, super long. And yeah, I'm really happy with like the fabric that this is making. So the sweater is knit in a worsted weight yarn. And I am using a worsted weight yarn held together with a mohair. So I'm not sure if that makes it more of an Aran weight, but definitely my stitch gauge is fine. Might be a little bit bigger actually, but my row gauge is much bigger. That happens to me a lot anyway, so I wasn't really worrying about it. But you're knitting on the back until you get to the underarm, and then you start doing the arm shaping. And it was supposed to reach 34 inches for my size, which I'm knitting the size 2. And mine was 39 and a half. So it's 5.5 inches longer than it's supposed to be. Luckily, I'm pretty tall, so it works out for me, and I really like a very long, like duster style cardigan, so I'm super happy with that. But now I have to make sure, like I'm working on the front pieces, I have to make sure that I knit them to that 39 and a half inches as well. So I've got like a marker in place to know, and I'm keeping track of that. But yeah, I love it. So now I have been putting a lot of my energy into working on this one, because even though it's such a huge sweater, and a lot of people I've noticed on the project pages have like called this sweater a beast. I think multiple people have used that term for this sweater. And it actually knits up super quickly if you if you're knitting just on that one. It knits up really, really fast. And because it's knit on larger needles, and of course I didn't write down what size needle. I'm going to guess US 8, I think. And yeah, so it knits up much faster. And so here is my front piece, the left piece. So again, knitting it bottom up, you do this really cool cartridge ribbing, which gives it such a cool, like, three-dimensional type of texture to it. And then, yeah, knitting up. And I kept thinking like, oh yeah, I'm working on a sleeve because it's so narrow. But what is happening is you start with like less stitches here, and then you are increasing. So it's starting like more narrow, and then it increases as you go up. And then after you get to that length, so this will be the length of that bottom front band that I was talking about. once you get there, then you're going to start decreasing and shaping it that way. So that's going to start shaping the V at the top because it's sort of got a V for the sweater. Like it's not straight down, it has like a bit of an angle on it. And yeah, so I thought that that was a really interesting kind of shaping that it has. And the bands that are going to go at the front are about like this wide, I think. So it's going to have a lot of fabric added to it when you add that band after. There was this pattern, I should say, is extremely easy to understand. Very, very basic techniques in this. Yeah, I think when you're knitting things flat, it's very simple to do. And the tricky part comes when you're seaming it all together. If you're, confident in your seaming, then that's not a big deal. And I think really it's just sewing it together. You don't have to make it look perfect. I've seamed lots of sweaters and I really don't even know what I'm doing. I just sew them up how I think it looks good. And so, yeah, I think that, yeah, it's very, very easy sweater to knit. There are some, what did I want to say? Here, there are some special increases that you're using to shape the front here that I have never done before. And I'm not sure what it's called, but the short form is INV-R for right. So like that's a right leaning increase, or INVL for a left leaning increase. And so like, for example, for the INVR, you lift the lower front leg of the stitch below the one on your needle, and you put that up onto the needle and you knit that one, and then you slip the actual stitch over onto, I think you slip the next stitch. Yeah, you slip the next stitch. So I've never done that kind of technique before, but seriously, it is like, it blends in so nicely. Like I can't see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see where I've done any of those increases along this edge at all. They just blend in so well. Now, when you come up here, you're going to do decreases, and that's the slip, slip, knit. And now you can see those decreases. But I just thought this blended in so nicely. Instead of doing like a make one left or a make one right, I think that this does such a neater job. So I might continue to use that technique in the future. And what else do I want to say? So once I'm finished doing the fronts, I like this pattern because you are going to block the back and the fronts, and then you seam those together. So you seam the shoulder seams and the side seams. And then you're going to go and pick up stitches around the armhole. So before, some other patterns that I've knit flat and seamed, you knit everything flat. You knit the sleeves flat, and then you seam them, and you seam the body, and then you insert them and sew them up, which can be a little bit tricky. Like sewing a side seam is easy. Sewing fitting a sleeve into an armhole is trickier to do. It's kind of like I do some sewing too, so I'm kind of used to that sort of sewing something into another space, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a little bit trickier than doing it this way where you're going to pick up stitches. Another thing is, so if you were to knit them all flat, seam them, and then insert your sleeve, if you had different tension or whatever, your sleeve might end up being like too small for that hole or too big for that hole. It's, knitting, so you can stretch it out a little bit to fit it in, that's fine. But this way you pick up your stitches, and if it tells you to pick up, however many stitches, and you think you need some more, some less to fit in, or to to pick up, what depending how your gauge is for the armhole, then you could just pick up extra stitches. Not a big deal. So I'm excited to do it that way. And then you're knitting the sleeve in the round, which is I like so much better than knitting it flat, because then you don't have to do any purling. So I like that. I'm excited to do that part, and I feel like it's just flying by. Like the front, I started on about like 3 days ago, I think, and I'm almost finished the front, and it's well, maybe halfway finished the front or 3/4, but like it's knitting up so quickly. So yeah, I'm liking seeing a lot of progress on that sweater. And the third top that I'm working on is the Bibliotek blouse by Fable Knitwear. This is the first time I think that I've knit one of her patterns. And I really like her different style. It's very different. She does a lot of things with, negative ease, a lot of puffed shoulders, which I think are so adorable. And so, yeah, I decided to do this one. It's all over, well, the body is all ribbed. The sleeves are in stockinette. And I thought that that was a really nice look. And it has puffed shoulders, like puff sleeves on it. And yeah, a nice fitted sleeve as well. And I really just was excited to do this one. So I had some leftover of my favorite yarn, the Durham Nature Ulysse. And this is the color Houvre Acel. So salt and pepper. And I really like this dusty sort of light brown color. I think it's really nice, and I think it will go with so many different things. Like I really like it even with this blue color too. I like this one. And so I'll show you what I've got so far. So it looks very tiny, but I promise you I have tried this on already, and it fits it because it stretches out so much with that 2x2 ribbing. And it's supposed to have negative ease anyway. And so, yeah, this is what I've got. You're working this one bottom up, and what was I gonna say? I've knit this one a lot longer than she has suggested. Like I'm still working on it because I think she said 9 centimeters, and then you're gonna start shaping for the bust. So again, for me, like 9 centimeters, it's going to be like a super crop top. So I'm just, looking at, I've tried it on a couple times, and as soon as I get to like under my bust, the length that I want, then I'm going to start doing the shaping for that. But I'm not there yet. So, for me, this is still not long enough. But it looks super cute on her with the crop version, but I want something a little bit longer. So this is, yeah, what I've been working on. It seems to be taking me a very long time to work this ribbing with the sport weight yarn. There's something like about sport weight that I think takes like a very long time to knit. I don't know why. It's like maybe I expect it, it's not a fingering weight yarn, so it's a little bit thicker. I expect it to knit up a little bit faster, but it feels very slow to me. But yeah, I'm doing a little bit on that at a time. And I think, yeah, I've skipped ahead in the directions. I think there's it'll be a little bit tricky doing that puff sleeve, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out when we get there. And is that it? I also have my Kitten Catch mittens here by Florence Miller again, and I've made no progress on the second mitten yet. I haven't even cast it on yet. So that is a tip that I got from Summer Lee, I think. Was it Summer Lee or Laura Penrose? I can't remember. They said that as soon as you finish the first one of a mitten or a sock, immediately cast on for the second one. And I think that it does work. I did that with the socks that I made for my husband, and I cast them on the next pair on right away, or the next sock on. And then it's ready for you. You don't have to knit right away, but it's ready to just pick up and start knitting. And I think that's like, I don't know why it's such a silly thing, because I don't mind casting things on, but I don't know. I think it is helpful to have it like cast on and ready to go. So no progress yet. maybe I'll start this one, the second one, this weekend. But yeah, it's super, super cute. I am using Sandnes Garn. I can't remember. Oh, Tin Peer Gynt. Tin Peer Gynt by Sandnes Garn. And I can't remember the colors, but that's all linked in my Ravelry. But yeah, super cute. Has a cute little fish on the thumb too. I like that little detail. Those ones are only come in one size and they are quite big. Even for myself, I feel like I have, slightly bigger hands. And I think, they fit great, but for somebody with they are quite wide. Even somebody with smaller hands, you might want to size down on a needle or two. Okay, that is it. That is it for all of my knitting. I purchased some of this more Knitting for Olive merino in the color licorice, which is just plain black, because I thought I really wanted to make oh, actually, I'm going to grab something I forgot to grab, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So I wanted to make a top by Woolen Pine. My brain's not braining today. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a really pretty lace detail with a picot edge collar. Really, really cute summer top. And so I thought I wanted to use this to make that top. Now I'm not so sure that I want to do it because I might still do it, but I think it's really pretty and kind of like cutesy. But I generally like to wear things that are a little bit more basic. So I'm not sure, like that could be just a process knit for sure. But I hate having things that I don't end up wearing, which happens to me a lot when I make things more for the joy of knitting them, or anyway, I don't end up wearing them, and I don't like that. So we'll see. I might make it super pretty top. We'll see. Another idea I had was to maybe make a very simple cardigan. So I already have the April cardigan by Petite Knit. I have that pattern already. So I might use it to make that. I'm not sure if I have enough yarn. I only have 5 balls of this, and I would need to order the mohair to go with it. But I thought like a black, like fuzzy basic cardigan would probably get a lot of use. I also found these really cute buttons on Etsy, and I'm gonna have to put the name up on the screen of the shop I got them from. But I started going down going on an obsession of looking at different buttons and just thinking about making a very basic sweater, but adding some interesting kind of buttons to it. And so, yeah, I found these really cute buttons from this Etsy shop. So I'll just show you. So they're like fabric covered buttons, and they're all different. So there's like a fox. There's all different like woodland themed animals. And I thought it'd be really cute just to make that fuzzy black cardigan and have these cute little buttons. I think the April cardigan maybe has like 4 buttons on it or something, I guess depending on your size or whatever. In the sample, it shows 4 buttons. So to have like 4 cute buttons, there's some mushrooms and some squirrels. And yeah, I'm not sure which ones I would use, but they ended up, I didn't check the size when I ordered them, or maybe I thought that they would not be as big. They are quite big. Like I think it's over an inch, but that would be I think it would be cute. Sort of a little statement piece cardigan, very basic cardigan with these like fun woodland themed buttons on it. I also was gifted very kindly by my sister and mother-in-law. They gifted me a bunch of really nice like knitting items, and it turned out like the ones that they picked are things that I don't actually own, which is rare because I like to buy all the different gadgets for all the crafts that I do. but yeah, I didn't have these. And so my sister-in-law, she went into a little yarn shop. She lives in St. Catharines, Ontario. So she went into this little yarn shop and was like, my sister-in-law is a knitter. Like, what can I give her that she wouldn't have already? So the guy in the store showed her a whole bunch of things. And so they picked me out this knitting journal and like a knitting planner type of thing. I love planners. Like, I love planners so much. Every year I have to get a new planner. And in fact, I'm going to share with you my planner system that I've been working on for this year. So they know that I love like planning things, taking notes, making lists and everything. So yeah, this was such a nice gift. I haven't started using it yet because I'm going to have to figure out how I want to use this planner, because I do a lot of, I take a lot of notes and keep them in my Ravelry, and I'm going to continue doing that. But this will be fun for planning. Like, it has a section there just for planning, and that's my favorite part of knitting, I guess. Um, besides the actual knitting, but I love planning things, so that'll be really fun and then you can put like your stash in here, what yarns you have. So I thought that was such a nice, thoughtful gift. Another thing, and I actually was like, oh, when I opened this one, because I don't have these and I really wanted them. So it came in this cute little tin, and it is some barber cords. So I don't have any of these, and I think there's 3 different sizes. So like a super long one for a sweater, but there's also like shorter ones. Some shorter ones, and a little one. So I love that, because right now these are used, if you don't know, if you haven't used these before, you take these, and I guess I'll do it on here. I'm not gonna take them all off, but you take this cord. It has a hole that runs through the middle of it, and you just put it on the end of the needle, and then you can slip all your stitches off of it if you want to try something on, or whatever. If you need to put your project on hold for a bit, you just slip them on there, and then when you want to put them back on the needles, same thing. Just put it back on the needles and then slip the stitches back on to your needles. And that's like a super quick way, because right now I just use like a needle and some spare yarn to put my stitches on hold. So I was super excited when I got some of those. And then I also got some of these really cute like alpaca stitch markers and progress keepers. Sorry about the glare. They're just all different colors with little llamas on them. And I thought they were really cute. I'm already using one for my Corvid, somewhere on here, as a progress keeper on there. So was such a nice, thoughtful gift for a knitter. All right, so now let's move into some of the other things. So if you guys were only here for the knitting, that's okay. I'm going to talk about some other things, some books that I've been reading recently. I got another a crafting book I wanted to share with you guys too, which I'll share with you now. And then I wanted to show you my planner that I've been working on. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. So the book that I got, I was watching one of my favorite podcasters, which is Paper Crane Yarns. And Ashley on there was talking about this book, and she was working on a pillow from this book, a pattern for a pillow, and it is patchwork granny square blankets. So it's crochet to look like a quilted blanket, and I thought that was really cool. And the author is Anita Gibney, and I guess that's her Instagram, Made by Anita. And so what really caught my eye was this blanket. I thought that was beautiful. And this one is the Modern Medallion bedspread. So I am not a crocheter at all. Like, I've done a tiny bit, but that was so long ago, I totally need to refresh my memory with it. But I thought it would be super fun to work on that, especially during the summer, because you could just make like a square here, a square there, and you don't have to carry around the whole blanket with you. So yeah, Ashley on Paper Crane Yarns made this pillow, which is so cute. So that's a fun, like more simple, smaller project that you could make. But there's lots of different smaller blankets, bigger blankets, and it just teaches you like how many blocks, just like quilting, how many blocks of each like shape and color you're going to need to make, and then you put it all together. So I'm excited. I ended up, well, I did get some crochet hooks a little while ago, so I think I'm all set to do that. But I really want to order this saying yarn that's they're using in the book, which I can't get in Canada. I would have to order it and have it shipped. So I don't know. It's going to be like I'll have to pay duty on that, and I'm not really sure I want to do that, but I don't really know. It's a DK weight yarn. I really like the colors that they've used in this one. I think that that would suit my bedroom. Um, yeah. So I can't remember if I read what size blanket it is. I don't even know if it says here. Oh, it says finished size 63 inches squared. So yeah, I think that that would be really fun to make. You get the instructions. Like to me, this is so exciting to me. Like to make these and then you put it together like that. Like that really really excites me. So yeah, I would like to go with the color palette that they've used here. So I don't think I said the name of the yarn is Stylecraft Life DK. And I believe that this is a superwash yarn. Oh, you know what? It's 75% acrylic, 25% wool. And I like that. Like I normally wouldn't knit with acrylic anymore. I have in the past, and nothing wrong with knitting with acrylic yarn at all. But for my sweaters, I generally don't anymore. But I think that for a blanket, I think it being acrylic, it's not going to be too hot if I were to use it sleeping. And it's going to be soft and it's going to be washable. I hope. Like it's got the 25% wool, but that's probably a super wash wool. So I want something that I'm able to put it in the washing machine because sometimes my dog, one of my dogs, sleeps in my bed, and so I want to be able to wash this in the future. So yeah, that's exciting. I think I'll start this one maybe in the spring, so I have something little portable, like little project to work on. Okay, another thing is I have just finished an audiobook, which was The Subtle Knife. So that is a part of the His Dark Materials. Um, I think it's like 3 books in that, but then there's some other half books or something like that that you can read as well. But by Philip Pullman. So the first one I listened to last year, which was The Golden Compass. And then so now I'm reading I read The Subtle Knife, which was the second one. I really, really like that. Um, I'm not like super into fantasy, but you'll see, like, I think I'm changing now, and I think I actually am kind of getting into fantasy more. It just has to be the right book. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the audiobook is amazing because they have so many different characters, like so many different actors for it. So all the different characters have a different actor, and I really like that. It has some like creepy music in it from time to time. I think it's really well done. So I really enjoyed the second one, and I've started on the third one now, which is the Amber Spyglass. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Totally recommend it if you haven't read it already. Another book that I just finished was this one, which is The Bear and the Nightingale. And this is a book by Catherine Arden. And it is a Russian fairy tale type fantasy novel. It takes place in the winter in Russia, and it has like a lot of things about like wood spirits, like forest spirits, and also it has the Winter King character in it too. And yeah, this book was very like dark and moody and atmospheric and really good though. I really, really enjoyed it. A little scary at times too. And I really like the main character in it. And I think that that really helps. I don't like to read books where I just hate every single character in the book. This one, the main character, she's really great. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And this is a part of a 3-book series. And so for Christmas, my husband gifted me a gift card for our local bookstore, which he does every year and I love. And so I went and I picked up the next 2 books of the series. And I'm always like, I'm trying to now not pick up books until I'm ready to read my next book, because I'll get excited and I might buy 2 or 3 books at the bookstore at a time. And then I don't end up reading the 2. Like I read one and then the other 2 go on my bookshelf and I get excited to read something new. And so I'll go and get another book or I'll get a different audiobook. So I'm trying not to do that. But because I really liked this one, and I've heard that the next 2, this one was like very dark and moody. The next 2 are not as much, but they're very like really good, like emotional, good reads, apparently. So I decided just to go for it and get both of them. So the first one I'm reading right now is The Girl in the Tower. And the next one is The Winter Witch. And so, yeah, super excited to keep reading this. I'm about that far into it and I'm really liking it a lot. Yeah, I won't go into what they're about because I'm not very good at explaining those things, but it's a fantasy novel. Okay. Now, last thing that I want to share with you is my planner setup. And I know a lot of people are not into planners. So if that's you, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you on the next episode. I'm thinking about doing an Everything I Knit in 2025. Just wondering if you guys are into those sorts of videos. I feel like if you're new here and this is your first time watching the channel, then they sometimes give you an idea of like what types of things that I like to knit. And if that's something that, vibes with you, then, that gives you like a look into the channel without having to go back and watch the previous episodes. Although you can do that too if you like. But I think, yeah, that's useful for that. But if you've watched my episodes before, you've already seen everything I knit this year. So yeah, you might not be that interested in it, but let me know in the comments down below if you are interested in everything I knit in 2025. And I also wanted to do a video about the patterns that were released in the 4th quarter of the year. I did one of these videos for every quarter of last year in 2025, and I have still the 4th quarter of the year. There's been a lot of beautiful patterns released in the fall and winter, so I'd love to share those with you guys too. So I hope to have that video coming up soon. Okay, so now let's move into the planner. So this is a planner that I got. It zips around. I didn't get this actually. This was my husband's that he has had for so many years. Like he got this like before we were married. So it's, maybe 15, 20 years old, probably. And it's a Daytimer brand, like zip up planner binder. And so I was like, I normally just buy myself a planner. I don't do the binder type of planners, but there's so many times when I've got like notes that I want to take or lists that I want to make, and that planner doesn't have pages for that, and I end up having to have too many like different notebooks. And I thought I would just use this, and I will buy the calendar pages And then I can have so much fun like printing out my own planner pages as well. So like I bought the calendar insert for the year from Filofax because it was the same fit. So this is the personal size planner pages. And yeah, so I bought that set. And then I've just been having fun printing out different things. I have so much scrapbook paper left over from other crafts. And so I wanted to use that. I have a whole bunch of washi tape too. So I've been using that to like pretty it up a little bit. And I've used some old notebooks that I didn't fill up, but still had pages left in them. And so I ripped out the pages and I cut them to the size here. And then I ended up buying a hole puncher that will punch the pages for different sizes for planner pages. So it has this one, it has like A6, A5, there's different types of binder like rings sizes. And this one was like you can adjust it to have whatever size you want. And so I was able to like punch all my papers using that. And I meant to have it here to show it to you, but I can link it down below if you're interested because it took me a little while to find the right one. But yeah, I love it. It's cute, it's pink, and I thought it would make things like more fun for planning stuff. I also got some of these little magnetic cat bookmarks because I don't have any sections for it yet, but I put them here at the back so that like this is where my notes are. So I've got like a tab for my knitting notes and then another tab for other random notes. And then I just like use the scrapbook paper to make like I think they call it a dashboard. People that are really, really into planner life, I think they call this a dashboard. The front page of your planner, sometimes it'll have your name on it or whatever. But I did that. And then I have like little checklists. So this is for like my workouts. I want to get back into running again. So I'm planning that out here, what I'm going to do every day. And then I also have cleaning tasks for my house, like homemaking stuff that I want to do daily, weekly, monthly. And then I did a page for every like month. So it'll have a cute little page. I want to get some monthly tabs to put on it, but I haven't found anything good yet. I tried to make my own. They didn't really turn out good. And then I printed out like January calendar. And then on the other side, actually, I'll show you where I haven't written all over it because I use different types of washi tape for it. So like this will be the month, that's July, and then on the other side it has like important appointments, to-do list, top priorities, and then the monthly calendar. Very, very tiny, but I thought it was cute anyway. And then I just taped those two pages together because I couldn't figure out how to print double-sided on my printer. So I just like cut them or printed them and taped them together with some pretty washi tape. And then I have like a to-do list here I printed out with like a little butterfly I found, and then the month. And then I also have done a like weekly meal planner too that I put in at the beginning of each week so I can plan out my days of I just plan out dinners on here. So like in the middle of the week I will make my grocery list and plan out my meals and stuff. I'm going to try and get better at doing that. So yeah, I really had a lot of fun using this planner. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say about it. If you're interested in things like that, I love making lists. I love making plans. And so now I have everything all together in one little binder. I was looking at different binder covers for, Filofax ones or just different types of ones, and they are not cheap. So if you were to get a new one of these binders, some of them I saw, like the brand name ones, were like $150. I thought that was like pretty expensive. So I'm glad that he held on to this one and he's letting me use it now. So that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. So I meant for this video to be a little bit quicker, but I don't think it's ending up being that short. So hopefully you were able to stick with me through the whole thing. And I will see you guys again soon, hopefully with everything I made in 2025. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue dude, bad mood, sort of witty and jaded, but let's not talk about you. Your coyote song.